welcome back everyone. We're back again doing another tabletop RPG review today of the Dragon Age role-playing guide, core rulebook. Try to keep it so it's not so shiny. You guys can see it there. It's a very nice thick book. It's about, just double check here, I think it's about 600 pages. There's a few class pages here actually. Oh no, it seems a lot thicker than it actually is. 439, 440, somewhere around there, including the character sheets. This book's actually really good. I would definitely recommend it to anyone who anyone who enjoys Dragon Age and whatnot. But this is more on a D6 system rather than your regular D20 systems like nowadays, like with like 5th edition Pathfinder and all that. This is more like your likes of your AD&D and 2nd edition. So we use D6s for everything. If you want to do skill checks, use 3d6. Damage is dealt with D6s and stuff. It's very interesting the way they do it. It's similar to current D&D in a sense. Basically, when you're making your character, you make your character based on their race and their background. So you have like stuff like I don't know any of these ones, but like examples being like a circle mage, and then you can pick whatever you want to do. That's more of a class actually. But like city elf, Dalish elf, dwarf duster, so kind of like a peasant, escaped elven slave, Ferelden noble, Ferelden freeman, Ferelden craftsman, and it has there's so many options. Like how many's here? Go back to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 24 classes to choose between. And in each one of those, you get like a kind of bonuses and everything to your whole background. But then you also roll on a chart, and you roll 2d6, and then based on it, you get a bonus to either your actual physical stats like con, strength, dex, stuff like that, or bonuses to your skills. It's like a bonus to your cunning, communication, stuff like that. They're very cool. They have a lot of different variations. There's, how many is there? 4 races to choose from, I believe, or 5. You have Dwarvens, Elves, Dalish, although they're kind of the same thing, Elves, Humans, Kunari. Got it. The Tevinter, I don't know if that's a different race, but you can still kind of say they're humans. And then the interesting thing is, when you have to pick your class, you basically have 3 options. Mage, warrior, and rogue. And then from there, you branch off into be what you want to be. So if you want to be like a paladin-esque, you'd go warrior and then branch off into there, or barbarian, you branch from there. But they're very interesting. It's kind of cool. They have a lot of different abilities. There is I believe they're called traits or talents. Talents, that's what they're called. And talents are pretty much your feats for 5th edition, except they're more watered down. Basically, every other odd level, you get the choice to pick a new talent. And sure, I'll just come look at this one. And basically, there's different levels of a talent. So you start off, if you select the talent, you're at a common level or novice level, and then after that it's journeyman and then master. So for example, there is a polearm weapon style, which would be kind of similar to polearm master for 5e, but like on this would be only available to a warrior, but I think everyone kind of knows what that does. In 5th edition, basically it gives you the ability to have use your polearm as a reach weapon and use it on what do you call it? If a person moves out of your range or moves into your range, you can attack them. But with the novice one, you can use the length of your weapon to your advantage. You treat enemies up to 4 yards away as if they were adjacent to you, so you can make melee attacks against them. They can't do the same unless they also have this talent. If an ally is between you and your opponent, you can still attack. In fact, this is a common tactic. That's novice. On journeyman, given a chance to prepare yourself, you are hard to move. You can set yourself with an activate action. Until the end of your encounter, any opponent that attempts to use the skirmish, stunt, or the novice degree of the two-hander style against you, you must first make an opposed attack roll. If you win, your opponent fails to move you and wastes stun points. I'll get into that in a moment. If your opponent wins, they may perform the skirmish stunt. And the master, you get the most of your weapons design features. If wielding a military fork or two-handed spear, you can perform the pierce armor stunt for 1 SP, which is the stun point, instead of the usual 2. If wielding a glaive or halberd, you can perform the knock prone or for SP instead of 2. In addition, mounted combatants do not gain the +1 bonus for fighting against an opponent on foot when attacking you. So this is actually really cool. In the system, they also have these things called stun points. And they kind of, I suppose it's a way of kind of removing critical rolls. So like, or critical success. So basically you can't really fail. You can still fail because you roll 3d6 and to do an attack. And basically 2 of those dice, so ideally like you're not going to have their dragon dice as they're called in this, but you're supposed to be a different color than the other two sets. So you could have like maybe 2 black sets of dice and have a white one. And then based on that white one's roll, if you roll doubles, depending on what the white die is, you get that many points to be able to use. And on your attacks and stuff, if I can bring it, actually I don't know this book off by heart yet, so I need to check the back for where are they? Stunts 47. A little bit ahead of it. So stun points, and there's different types of tests. So basically, I'll show it here. But I'm also going to take some photos. I don't have a PDF of this, so I can't really take shots as I'm going along. So apologies if they're a little bit blurry. But like, if you can see here, you have dragon dice, which is basically your 2 black and your 1 dice, and basically this dragon dice would signify what kind of stunt you get. So basically, you can use your stunts for different things. Right, use the stunts. There's let's see it here. I know there's a warrior one, but basically you can, for one or two things, you can basically use a piercing action, which will pretty much half your target enemy's armor for that 1 round, just because you're piercing using your stun point. So basically, as like a critical success from previous rounds, that you can stack them and use different variants. So you can do like all-out attacks, charge, defend, heal, melee attack, range attack, and run. So they're actually quite interesting. They're handy enough. See if you can. It's actually, I think it's a really good book. It would take some getting used to. Other than some of the dice mechanics, it's pretty straightforward. It's like your standard D&D setting. And the only thing that I think that the game creators had in mind was that when you're making your character, I think they realized that since this is kind of similar to AD&D in 2nd edition, that you're very easy to get killed on with these low dice rolls, because you can have such a low base hit points. Like you can usually get wiped or TPK'd quite instantly. So basically, the mage starts off with 20 health, plus their constitution bonus, plus 1d6. Rogues start at 25 plus their constitution plus 1d6. And then with warriors, they start at 30 plus their constitution modifier plus 1d6. So they're going to have a fair bit of health, because you can still deal a lot of damage. The weapons are quite potent. If I can find the base weapons. Apologies for having to find all this stuff. Weapons, at least. I should have probably set aside some notes for myself, but it's nice to just go through it every now and again. Okay. Weapons. So a battle axe is 2d6, throwing axe 1d6, a two-handed axe is 3d6. So some of the weapons still do quite a large amount of damage, so it's quite interesting to see how they're running them. So damage it can be quite high, and also it can be easy to hit if you're going to have a low AC. Your AC is generated the same way as you would in 5e, basically 10 plus your dex plus any shield bonuses, I believe. Or is it plus? It might be plus 8 actually. Let me just double check. All the let's make some noise flipping between pages. Okay, I don't see it in here. It's somewhere in here, but I'll just leave it off. It's either plus 10 or plus 8 from your starting base armor, plus your dex, plus your shield if you have one. So yeah, it can be quite easy to hit because you'll have lower numbers. The one that's good thing about this book is it already comes with 3 preloaded base campaigns you can run through, and they kind of, if you're a new DM, it shows you how to actually run games and how to run for your players based on the archetypal types like rules lawyer, power gamer, stuff like that, and just kind of things to keep an eye on, just so you can cater your game for those particular things and for yourself. So it's really good. Is there anything else? Spells are pretty much the same. Like there's a whole section on like plot lines, everything, final world, all the organizations you can have in, like building a PC organization, reform, all these different things. It's very interesting. This book is a little more expensive than the likes of your base 5e D&D. So one of the player handbook for 5e, I believe it's about $40, £35 in around there. This one is $60, so you're $60 or about £55, around €55 in around there, in that ballpark figure. So you're spending a little bit more, but you are getting 3 settings and how to build a setting. So like what would you get in the DM's handbook and one of the campaign settings. And it has a lot of it. It goes through, the history of the world, which is really good. So it goes through like the First Blight and Andraste's betrayal, how everything goes. And like I'm only halfway through the book now, looking at this stuff. And it's really in depth. It covers through a lot of information. It's very in depth. Yeah. So here's it shows you like your styles of play that you can play based on your. Like you're going to be adversarial, benevolent, director. So basically, if you kind of try to create a movie kind of esque scenario, then you can know your group, problem player types, like your griefer, your hack and slasher, which is kind of be your power gamer, hanger-on, junior thespian, motivator, wallflower, and rules layer. A wallflower, I think you can be fine with a wallflower as long as you have a motivator, which is one of the standard ones. Wallflower is one who's not going to talk as much, but will still play, still be involved, but they won't be as charismatic in the group, and the motivator is kind of the opposite of that. Just going off my own basis of it, I haven't read through it all. And then it shows you how to run all the stats and everything, role playing, recommendations for players who aren't a bit kind of afraid to role play, stages of battle, finishing moves, crisis points. There's also if you're having like a massive army kind of battle, you can make cards for armies. Basically, you have different bonuses. So in this example here, just these two. We have the Royal Army of Ferelden and the Darkspawn Horde, which would be around the time of the first Dragon Age Origins games. King Kaelin, Theron, and the Hurlock General. Primary troop type Ferelden, men at arms, difficulty test 11. And the Darkspawn Hordes is the Hurlocks, the test difficulty 11. Commander's leadership skill +6. The Darkspawn is +4. Scouts. The Darkspawn don't have any stage 1 specialists, and it goes through kind of all the things that they have. And in this case, it shows that there is more Darkspawn enemies than there is Ferelden. So basically, showing you how to run through it, possible outcomes. You can always like scout ahead, try to take out sections at a time because you're not going to be able to go at them one-on-one, stuff like that. It's very in depth. I definitely think it can be easy to TPK your party, but I think once you find your balance in it, it would be pretty straightforward, as is all D&D campaigns for new DMs. You have lots of different enemy types. They're all very good. And I didn't actually realize this. There is honorifics. So basically, if one of your players becomes knighted or whatever, what they get, and same for people who have honors and what they are entitled to. So it shows them like if you have a title, it shows whether what tier you are, how much monthly gold you get per month, the amount of troops you have entitled to, and your influence. I don't know if that would be applied as a bonus to your charisma checks. But yeah, it's very in-depth. It shows a lot of things. And then you can, how much it costs to hire a person, their bonuses, stuff like that, as an extra for your group. It's very in-depth, I'll give it this. I've only briefly read through it, but still very good. And then this, and after page 339, Adventures in Thedas, this is where you're going to get your kind of your sample campaigns. I believe one is for like level 1 to 5. Doesn't actually say it here. I would assume that this is for around level 5, and your next will be level 10, and the last one will be level 15. There's a few interesting ones, or you could always just weaken the enemies to be different ones. And then you also have your enemy types for these adventures, which is always handy. And that's pretty much the end after going through all the different ones. It's very good. There's also a setting for how to deal with if you get hit with the Darkspawn Taint, which is like basically if they slice you or bite you or you get any of their blood on you, how it affects, and it is terrible. If you get it, you're fucked basically. Your best case scenario is die immediately. I think it's 1, you die immediately on a roll of d6. 2 is actually we'll see if we can bring it up so I can show it for you guys. But oh my god, it's terrible. It's the one thing you would never want to happen to you. Darkspawn Tainted 288, 289. It's definitely rough. There's also dragons in this as well. Which you would not want to be going up against anytime soon. Tainted Darkspawn, no, that's not what I want. Maybe it's the Taint rather than Tainted. TTT 260, 262. Oh yeah, so coming to the Taint, I have it here. I'll just read it. It's just this bit down here. It is rough. If you roll 1d6 On a 1, the character succumbs to the sickness and dies pretty much immediately. On a 2, the character slips away from the party and seeks out the Darkspawn, joining them as a ghoul, which is not good. 3 to 4, the character turns on the party and attacks, most likely resulting in death should they fight back. 5 to 6, the character is able to sense when their final hours are drawing near and uses a final reserve of their strength and willpower to leave cherished friends behind before harming them. So, like, your best bet is 1, so you just die immediately. There's also stuff on, I forget what the tunnels are called for Darkspawn. The deep road stuff where you can find the Darkspawn. That kind of area has in-depth how to build if you're going to build a scenario with full of Darkspawn, the Fade, the nature of the Fade, the Black City, the Veil, all the spirits that are available, then the demons. It's very in-depth. It's definitely a good book. An in-depth history on the on the Grey Wardens, and if you want to become a Grey Warden, the game recommends it. It says in the book that they don't recommend players becoming part of the Darkspawn, or not Darkspawn, the Grey Wardens, until around at least level 6, because you still have to roll for it, so there's a higher chance of failing and dying to the Taint. But I assume it's a Constitution save. I haven't really read in depth on it, but you can die during it. That the book recommends around level 6 to be a save point. It's really good. I definitely recommend it. I'll put links to where you can pick it up. If anyone's actually interested in Dragon Age, I would highly... Yeah, but if anyone is interested in Dragon Age, I definitely recommend picking it up. Even if you don't particularly like Dragon Age, just the history and stuff in it and all the recommendations for it on how you can alter your game, it'd be really good. Very good. Very, very good. The Oracle alone is astounding in it. It's very as if it's pulled right out of the game and just planted right in, as it keeps like how you... I think it shows both everything from like Origins, Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition all kind of in this scenario, which is very handy. So if you want to base your game around Inquisition or Dragon Age 2, like in Kirkwall, with like Chantry and the mages issues rising up and stuff like that, it's very good. But yeah, I think we'll end it there. So I'll put links below where you can find the book if you guys want to pick it up, and probably on Amazon or eBay. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. So we'll end it there. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.